It is day 2 at the Rhino household. They were very, very kind to me last night. So I left all my power tools here. I parked in a very sketchy place in Birmingham. It took me about half an hour to be able to leave the van, locked, empty, deadlocked, parked up to a car. I arrived back to the car park at 11 o'clock, where Jack from JRC dropped us off after the podcast. And the van was the only vehicle in the entire car park by itself. Not a scratch, not a dent, not a peeled door. So luckily, I have got Rhino trade insurance, which we'll get to later, because we're going over to Rhino head office later. And actually what I want to do, because there's a petition floating around for the ban of second-hand power tool sales at car boot sales, and hopefully at Facebook Marketplace, but I don't see that ever happening at the moment. And the signatures are going up and up, which are working really well. And I will do the petition in the top pin comment below. If you haven't signed the petition already, we're trying to get to 100,000 signatures to get into Parliament for debate. Hopefully that goes to plan, but we're already getting a lot of recognition online, on the radio. PB was talking to Jeremy Vine the other day. I know Gas Expert has been on the tools. Hopefully he's going on the news soon. So it's getting as much publicity as we physically can to stop this, in the fear that our power tools or vans don't get broken into because they can't sell the stuff. So why the hell would they try and nick it? Because they're arseholes. That's why. But it's one of them things of we can do as much prevention as possible. But the anxiety at night time of any noise, any cat farting down the street, I'm out the window, I'm looking at my van, hoping that no one's peeling the doors open, because it's one of the things, even now, when my other vans got broken into 4 times, and I went out and had a good little fight with one of them, and then I nearly got hit in the face with a crowbar, it isn't worth your life, it isn't worth time off work, they're just tools, it's just a vehicle. I get that. It's not worth going outside. But at the same time, if it happened tonight, I'd run straight out there. Without any hesitation, and I'm a lot heavier now as well, more weight to throw around, absolutely delicious. There was a point I was going with this and I cannot remember, on how often this occurs, how many times the police actually come out. They only came out once for the 4 times mine was broken into. And even when I had a fight with one, they didn't show up. Okay then. And the one time they showed up at my house is because some of my power tools were actually found. Well, the boxes were found and they didn't tell me that, it was the boxes. So I got all excited for the 3rd time. And when my stuff was stolen, I had no money, I was so poor. I had a dead dad recently and it was all bad. And they came to the door and then they said, oh, here's all these tools that were stolen. You know, we found out because your name was written on the label printer. I was like, fantastic, I'm so happy, I've got all my power tools back. She went, oh, no, they're just empty boxes. Thanks so much for bringing it to me. Thank you for wasting my time. Anyway, a few little things to do today. We've got 3 JCC fire guard lights to go and change in the bathroom because they're very corroded. We've got a shaver socket to change because it is broken. And then on top of it as well, we've also got a mirror to go up. Hang on, there's a blank plate that I put on from yesterday, from last video. The Dyson is now lovely on the wall, absolutely delicious, nice and warm in here. So let's jump upstairs, the power's off. Let's get in the loft, let's get the uni light out. Let's get a Milwaukee 18-volt battery in there. Bad boy. Also, I'm going to do a test very soon in the unit on a time lapse. Both the lights, the MTB 5000 and the MTB 10000, on max setting with a fully charged 18-volt 5-amp Milwaukee battery to see how long they last. And what I'm going to do is on each setting is do the same thing, time lapse it. And it's going to take me possibly days to record, so you guys can know what to expect when working day in, day out with the lights. So I've just put on the new shaver socket. Nice and fresh and new. The old one just aged, stopped working. We got a nice supply to it, not working. So we've got mirror feed, which you can see, which is there with some fat 13 boots in. Dab ball, dot and dab, fabulous. Mirrors going on, we could rod up. The problem is a lot of plasterboard when it's dabbed on, especially the age of the building, it's about 25 years old, new build to a point, is it's solidly dabbed all around the edge of the board. This is the way it's been done, and then you've got your hollow spots in the middle, which is great, but it's not great if you want to run a cable down. So ideally I want to run a 1mm down from here to a hole, way goes in the back, mirror goes on the wall, easy peasy. But to save time, if you wanted to redecorate, you would just chisel, multi-tool, whatever, about, I mean that's 9 inches, isn't it, out the top, put a bit of filler in, but then we're looking at redecorating. The camera makes my hands look really dirty, I promise you they're not. There, or we come straight, because there's a permanent supply, same as the mirror is going to be. All I would do if we go from the top would be cut the mirror feed, unless there's a junction box accessible, join that, come off that, so they're both permanent supplies, great. Or we come straight from here, which is a stud wall, but this here is equally dabbed all around the edge. So we either multi-tool a bit there, come across. Either way, we're going to have to filler paint. So the plan is I'm going to open the loft, try and find the back brick wall, which should be fairly easy because it's attached to the house, it's in the loft. Don't know why I said that. Drill bit, I've got a really long 6mm drill bit that I'm going to put directly against the wall, drill down. Yeah, so you're looking about that much dab. Drill down through the dab to a point, and then put a big bit down to see if we can feed, keep the plasterboard intact, keep the ceiling intact. Hopefully there's no filler, no painting required. This will take longer on the job. There's less work to do afterwards. So it's more expensive for me to do it this way because it's more of my time, but then you save on cost from decorating and filling unless you're someone at home can do it themselves. So there's two ways to do, but I'm going to try the harder way first. Try and get as much money off this job as possible. I'm joking. But first, what would be easy for myself so we can get a rod up and have a look. I'm going to drill a 32mm spade bit in the wall here where the connection is going to be for the mirror. So we can try a rod, have a play. We definitely know it's not going to work, but I can satisfy the cravings of rodding a hole and then go upstairs and have a look. We've got a work mat. We've got a hideously long bit. I'm going to offset it. We've got dab in the middle here. Find out a hollowest bit, which is there. Always try and feed the cable up. I know what it's like when people rod sometimes. There's a dab here, there's dab here, there's dab here. You think you're doing it in straight with a line as you get the rod up. And as the rod gets to the top, it then appears 2 foot over there. Oh, that'll do, it's in the wall. Straight lines, guys. We've slightly gone through on the angle with the drill bit just for the rod's sake. You can see we've got at least, oh Jesus, look how much that's gone in. That's at least 7 inches in the wall. The level of confidence I have that this isn't going to go up is if this goes up and I manage to get it up within the straight line to a point, because realistically the mirror is classed as an outlet, which is going to be that big to that big, so all of this will be to a point are cable zones, but ideally if you took the mirror off you saw the hole, you want it going up. If this goes up first time, I will directly ring Jordan on the video and tell him he's a better YouTuber than me, okay? Even we know that's not the case, I'll do it anyway. That's a shame, never mind. Last but not least, before we go up the steps, is get a measurement of where that cable is roughly, it's going to change ever so slightly with the thickness of the wall, roughly where that hole's going to sit. So between 26 and 30 centimeters on the wall with the cable coming up. We know we can go straight against the dab. And what I have done, so I've been up and down the stairs 4 times, so I'm completely out of breath and fat, is put a spade bit. So instead of SDS, which is too brutal and you can't control it as best you can with, compared to a little combi, is we've got the extension bar from Armeg. We've got a 16mm Bosch spade bit, which we're going to feed down. We're also going to be taking up the Doncaster 1.5mm twin and earth, and then I went to Screwfix this morning to get a few bits. Little bag, because if we get a chance to go through it and do it, I know want to go in the loft once, so we can take everything up. If it works, we can feed the cable down, there's enough there, I know it's near the hole, I can cut it, join it, drop it down, close the hatch back up, and then do all the rest of the stuff down here, test it from down here. That's the plan. What a lovely, lovely loft. You don't get to say this very often. God, I look pale, don't I? This is the MTB 10,000 that I was on about, so you can see how hideously dark it is now. It's a little green light. That's on, so if we go lowest setting, next one, next one, next one. Oh, that's off. That's full power, and you can see from the far side of the loft, you've got it all lit up. It's got a little hook on the back. It's fabulous. It is a great light. I would not recommend it unless I use it. I used to use the little lanterns before. Do you remember the smaller version of the lanterns? I've still got a couple of them. Great lights for hanging across the loft. This one here, discount code. I still get it for £160. I still do. So if you want it, let me know, and I'll put the link down below as well, somewhere. Or I'll reply to your comment with a link, whatever, or put it in the description. Just remind me, because my head is everywhere at the moment. One thing we're doing as well, very shortly, obviously, is the down lights. So while I'm up here, we can do a cheeky little hack and just push the lights down and go, see you later. Rather than me pinging my fingers I'm going to do a little hack. Take the springs out, poke them down, save my fingers from torment in a little bit, because I don't want them swelling up, do we? Well, there's our mirror feed. Here's our tape. Put that in the middle. 26 to 30. So we're about here. We'll drill down there. You've got a little bit of a gap there, but I know the board overlaps the thing. So, like I said, the dab earlier, it's a good 7 inches or so. And let's just hope to God when we go down there that the plasterboard's intact. If not, we've tried our best to try and get it the way without any damage. And if it hasn't worked, then we'll have to damage the wall anyway. We are through there, and I feel like it's already been a successful day. See daylight through the wall. What's that remind you of? We're gonna go for it, guys. If I feed more than enough down there, it's going down an absolute treat. Like a hot dog down an alley. Like a bicycle in an aeroplane hangar. If you know that reference and what film that's from, I'll be so impressed in the comment section. Figure it out. Right, that is an ample amount of cable. I tell you what, guys, for free, camera up there. Oh, there we go, right. I look, hair chop, so why I'm not wearing my hat. Absolutely loving, and I'm not saying it because I got it for free. I did get it for free, but I didn't get full drums. I got partial drums. I'm gonna make an order very soon. The Doncaster Earthshaw is sick. I absolutely love using it. I'm not gonna lie. I've been putting it in loads of people's houses at the moment, and very soon we're gonna be doing a full rewire in this, in the Earthshaw. But the only issue is, right now they don't do the 6mm. Apparently they have the patent and they have the technology and everything in place to make the 6mm, but they haven't as of yet. I think they're seeing how the 1mm, 1.5 and the 2.5 goes before they start production of the 6mm. I could be completely wrong. If you get the chance just to buy one roll, try it out, let us know in the comment section. If you're already using that already and you like it, or you don't like it, let me know as well, because any feedback is great for them, for us, and any other products that you want me to try that's coming out soon. Maybe like the Sleeve It from Velocity Pro Gear, which should be coming out soon. We're having a good review of that as well. So we're nearly there. I've just been talking to the customer about this video is about to take a massive tangent, so you're gonna have to bear with us. That's on. Someone cut another hole up there because couldn't find the cable, but that's been filled. Screws on, hunky dory, and away he goes. All I want to say very quickly, jumping on the mental health bandwagon. I've talked about it for years. I went through a world of hurt for a year. I did. Most of you that watched me for years will know what I'm on about. I just had a massive conversation downstairs with the customer about the story and this, that, and the other in it, sort of reliving stuff or bringing some emotions out that I didn't know I still had. And one of the things I've just sort of almost had an epiphany, I've sort of thought about this before, is I suffered in silence for over a year and a half of not saying how I felt, speaking to people properly, holding it in, trying to deal with it myself. I did. I made it very public. I did that for a year and a half. It made me very unwell and not the person that you lot see today. And, you know, happy, go out, make people laugh, taking the mick out of things, that sort of stuff. It was very different after the events of that year that happened. And it wasn't because I was too much of a manly man. It wasn't that. It wasn't like I felt like I couldn't say it because I would looked not manly enough to other people, which other people do get, and I completely understand in the type of work environment you are, the company you have. It's very difficult to explain your feelings the way you are to other people without fear of ridicule or feeling less manly. I get it. Or, you know, even for women, speak about how you feel. The reason I didn't, this is what I've just said downstairs, it's a little bit fresh. I got a bit upset. I didn't say anything to anyone for a long time. And the only reason that was for is I didn't want anyone to worry about me. I didn't want anyone to feel the way I was feeling with either bringing up emotions that they could have, that I was having, by reminding them that, you know, that's what I'm feeling, you know, and then unintentionally making them feel bad because of it as well. I didn't want anyone worrying about me and the way I was feeling. My whole aura, or my whole personality has always been have a laugh, take the mick, make people smile. I've always been the same way, always. An hour after my dad had passed away, I was making jokes to try and make my mom and my brother feel better about the situation. just to see him smile. That's the way I was. And I didn't ever talk about how I felt whatsoever about it because I didn't want other people to feel sorry for me, upset for me, worried for me. The last thing I wanted is more hurt and more worry out there and more stress. So I kept it to myself, and 100% now I agree that was completely the wrong thing to do. I should have, like I said to you, talk, speak to someone, mom, dad, other half, brother, sister, friends, neighbours, customers, whatever. If you're feeling like something's on top of you and you don't want to be a burden, because that's what I thought I was. I thought I was being a burden if I projected this out into the open. So that's why I kept it to myself. And 100%, if there's something there, guys, anything that's niggling away at you right now, anything that is stressing you out, and one conversation can make you feel so much better. A problem shared is a problem solved. 100% agree with that situation. Anyway, I'll get back to the electrical video. It's just, it was so fresh of what we've just spoken about, and I'm feeling I'm in the moment. I'm in the moment, guys. But yeah, talk to people, please. Look at that. Oh, nice. On, off, on. Oh, hang on. Right, we're finally here. Sorry about the very sudden turn in the mood of the video that happened earlier. But once again, you're struggling, got anything on your mind, speak to someone out, it helps a lot, doesn't it? This is Troy, by the way, who is the who runs Rhino Trade Insurance.
That's it, yeah.
You've been on this before.
Yeah.
You've been on before.
Yeah, they know who I am.
Yeah.
No one knows who I am.
Yeah, they do.
No one cares.
So we were going to give you a little walk round of the office, meet the staff. You've got loads of really nice awards out there in an awards cabinet, but I know you lot won't care. So
No one does.
if you're into insurance, then you might like it. Text me privately, and I could do
Those
a little.
two of you out there, yeah.
Yeah, I'll whip you around. But it was just, how have you got a black Apple key mouse? I didn't even know there was
Too
any.
much about
Okay, that's cool. Terrible. It was just a few questions. So, what is your most sold policy?
Listen, I know insurance is the least sexy thing to talk about, and this might already be turning 100 people off, but
Two.
the two most important insurance policies our customers take out is public liability cover, covers if you accidentally knock a wall through,
Yeah.
hit a gas pipe, water starts leaking out everywhere. I was about to say
So
that,
yes.
a naughty word.
So what's the who is the most claim? What trade claims the most? If you can allow that information.
I can allow that information. The highest risk trade is plumbers, anyone working with water, heating engineers, and people like that.
You know you are.
And it doesn't mean that they're sloppy. It doesn't mean that the work is too dangerous
You
or
can
anything like
say
that.
it. You can say stinky.
We'll tell you later.
Okay.
No, it simply means that the work that they're doing is potentially hazardous. If you work with water, if it leaks through a roof,
It damages
onto the
everything.
floor, it damages absolutely everything. Yeah. And the second most important insurance, the most claimed upon policy we do is tools insurance.
Which makes perfect sense.
We
like
could-
exactly what I said at the beginning of the video.
Yeah, I mean, anyone who doesn't have insurance for their tools and thinks they might want to risk it, all you've got to do is speak to somebody who's had their tools nicked, and you realise what an impact it will have on your business. And if you get tools cover that covers your tools 24 hours a day, then if the worst happens, it sucks. There's nothing a lot of people can do about that. Not a lot of police
Yeah.
can do about that. But at least if you have insurance, you're not going to be financially out of pocket for very long.
Fact. And this isn't a ploy or a plug to do with this. It is and it isn't. I look at it two ways. I have a discount code that you lot can use. We'll put it at the end. But at the same time, as a tradesman, I know what I can try and do and put into place to try and protect my tools. What could you recommend to people that you think would be a good idea of one way, not only to take the tool insurance out, but other ways that they could look after their stuff, do you think?
So, I mean, I can't really recommend what to do. I mean, tradespeople know their business a hell of a lot more than I can, and I do. If you are self-employed, you don't have the luxury of an employee,
No.
which means if you're off sick, you can't invoice and you won't earn. If you have an accident, if your tools get stolen, if you have a legal dispute, if a customer isn't paying you, all of these things will affect your business. Yeah. We have an insurance policy for all of that. And yes, you're going to be paying for it for every month that you don't need it. But that second you do need it, you're going to be very thankful that you have it in place. Yeah. And all I'm basing that on is conversations I've had with tradespeople that haven't had it in place. Then will give us a call and say, oh, you know what, for X pound a month, as much as a pint or a takeaway or something, I wish I'd had that in place. You run the risk by not insuring something. Look, I'm going to be biased. I'm the last person really who should be giving you this advice. But, Nick's been a client of ours for 5 years.
Nearly 5 years now, yeah.
So I just think if you're going to
Don't take the risk. You can't. And I've been there and I've done it. And the first, because I thought I'd never have my van broken into, ever. Said this time and time again on the channel. Once I had it broken into, I thought, well, that's me done now. That's it.
Yeah.
It's happened now. That's it. Replaced all the stuff. 3 months later, I presume the same people came back and took all the brand new tools that they knew I would replace. My van was parked in the same spot at the same time. Do you know what I mean? They rinsed me. And once again, I still didn't take out tool cover. But then the problem arose is to then borrow money to then pay for new tools. I realistically at that time thought, oh Jesus, I really should get some insurance. I then didn't have the extra cash to get the insurance because of the knock-on effect of having to borrow. And then by the time the fourth time happened, which they didn't steal anything that time, but you know, we spoke about it earlier, is that was when it was like, right, enough's enough. If I'd have just had this policy in place, which, what does it start at a month? A rough cost?
Yeah, about £5 a month, yeah.
For tool cover. And I know there's a few boxes you've got to tick with some form of receipt or whatever, with serial numbers. There's loads of different ways we can do it. I mean, do you want to explain
the
ins and the outs of it? Because it does get complicated.
Tools insurance had a bit of a bad rep, and I don't blame anyone who thinks that. We always try and do things differently at Rhino, but even if you're not choosing Rhino, I implore you to have a look at the options out anywhere, because you run the risk by not having this kind of thing in place. Basically, you need to have a record of what tools you have, an online receipt with Screwfix, other places are available, physical receipts and things like that. If you don't have that, you could be making a bogus claim. I'm not saying that people do that. It just gives us the surety that what you're claiming for is legitimate. You know, if you were to crash a Vauxhall Corsa and then make a claim for a Lamborghini, you know, you expect your car
and I get to a point
to
because
improve, right?
I've been on the receiving end of a conversation with another tradesman where they go, oh, what do you think I'm going to dig out a receipt from 6 years ago? Well, yeah, if you're self-employed, you should be keeping your books for the past 7 years. That means pictures of receipts or actual hard copy receipts of everything. Your accountant should have a copy some form, and especially nowadays, everything is digital. Everything is on the computer, saved to QuickBooks, to Sage, to all the other ones that are out there. Is unless you've bought it second-hand, let's say it's off Facebook Marketplace, it's from a car boot, which is obviously what we're trying to prevent, or you bought it off your mate and whatnot. If there's no record of it, then for all we know, at some point, if my van was to get broken into now and there's nothing in it, and I say, oh yeah, full Milwaukee cut stuff, this, that, and the other, it's a false claim. It's fraud at the end of the day. And if you need to look at it from an outsider's point of view, as the company owners of an insurance company, they need to tick every box. And as tradespeople, we should be do the due diligence. Due
diligence, hell of a word.
That's the word. That's a good. Write that one down. To cover our own arses and get the receipts out and speak to your accountant to get this, that, and the other. Electricians, mega testers, all our electrical MFTs, thousands of pounds. They get calibrated. We should have receipts for it, so it should make the process easier.
There is a responsibility on the policyholder as well as the insurer, and I know it's an emotional time if the tools get stolen or if you need to make a liability insurance claim or an accident insurance claim, but you have to respect the fact that we're only as good as the information that we're given, and we will do everything we can to make it an easy process for you. Insurance is so important, and I know I'm, you know, the guy behind Rhino speaking here, but go anywhere for your insurance. As long as you're covered, it gives you that safety net. It gives your customers a safety net that if a claim was ever to be made against you, you'll be able to pay it, and it's not going to send you bankrupt or put you under. It's
crippling for people.
100%. And we've experienced horror stories in our time. Just back on tools, we did a survey a year and a half ago now to thousands of tradespeople, and 42% of them had fallen victim of tools theft at one point.
That's hideous, isn't it?
And almost 80%, 78% of people knew somebody who had fallen victim of tools theft. The number one fear of tradespeople of any trade is having their tools stolen. It's devastating, and it's something that shouldn't happen. I'm a big believer and fan in, you know, signing petitions against things, you know, making sure that the police and councils, neighbourhood watches, everybody's doing everything that they can. Of course, put your own safety precautions in place, but this is something that's only seems to be getting worse.
Yeah,
Statistics show us, and although your tools are irreplaceable in some respects, at least you can get your money back by having insurance.
As quickly and efficiently as we can, at the same point, if we're going to do it and we're going to cover ourselves, make sure you try and get every receipt, every picture, write down the serial numbers, put trackers in the tools. That's all stuff now that we can do. I'd like to say people like I used to take the tools out of the van at night. It's just not possible for some people. It really isn't. And at least you're covered. If it's on your driveway or wherever you put on your policy that your vehicle will be parked, you're covered. So it's just annoying. It's so irritating talking about it and seeing the figures and have people messaging me all the time. Can I have spare tools because my van got broken into? Like, I'm just a one-man guy. Yes, I get given tools. I have no spare power tools now. I've given them out over the course of the years to a point where if my van gets broken into, then I'm waiting for them the tool policy to pay for the stuff that's been I've got. So it's
Look, it's again, you know, it's not the most exciting thing or sexy thing to talk about, but in an ideal world, no one would need tools insurance because no one's nicking each other's tools.
exactly, and that's what we're trying to prevent. Petition down below, go and sign it. It literally took me, I think I said on the timed it was 37 seconds. It's email address, you get an email, verify, done. That is simple as that. So it's like a government website thing as well. So
Sound.
honky dories, right, mate? Thank you very much. I was about to shake your hand then, but I'm all right.
Today.
Yeah, sweaty. Right. Last but not least, if you do want, this has been a great build up to the code for you lot to save money. Hit me.
RhinoTradeInsurance.com, get a quote, use code Bundy10, and you get 10% off everything.
Everything. That's pretty good to me. And then, like you say, you're already competitive. And we'll do the whole spiel. It's 5-star reviews, excellent customer service. I know I did it all yesterday in the video when we were doing the promotional stuff.
Yeah.
But go and check it out. If you don't believe us, go and check the reviews. 100%.
All I'll say is just check us out. If you haven't got a quote, go and grab a quote, see how we compare. Really good on rates, fantastic reputation. We work because of you guys and for you guys. And if you have any queries, we've got a cracking team sitting just out there who'd be more than happy to answer the phone to you.
Like and subscribe, guys. Bye.
Smash that button.